All right, good afternoon or morning, I guess, depending on where you guys are at. Welcome to Beginner Profit Pool. My name is Krista Wiley. I am a one-star double platinum. I have been in the business now 4 years and absolutely love it. I'm also a 3-time IATAN card holder, and we're going to go over kind of the basics of team building. What does it take? Maybe you're somebody who doesn't even want to team build. How many of you guys here are like, nah, team building's not for me, but I was told to come to this class? Anybody here that's like, team building's not for me, but I was told to come? Anybody here? All right, well, we're all here for team building. I love it. So like we were talking about a little bit ago, it's always best to be prepared than have to get ready. So we're all going to be prepared. We're all going to get ready, and we are going to talk about that. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and we will. Now, at any time you guys have questions, feel free to put them in the chat box. I am recording, so I wouldn't necessarily unmute because I don't want a bunch of people talking over everybody, but I will have the chat box open. If you guys have questions, I want to make sure that we're going through this and you guys completely understand. So beginner profit pool. There's a couple of different things or a couple of different ways that you might hear this be talking or us talk about it. You might hear us say the profit pool. You might hear residual income. You might hear mentorship program. You might hear travel trainer program. You might hear us say sharing the business. You might hear us say building a team, right? Any of those things. They're all synonymous, but we're all talking about the residual income, building a team, the profit pool, right? Team building is when an agent decides, or it happens organically, to take advantage of the optional side of our amazing business. When this decision is made, they then opt into the residual profit pool. Any agent who holds a rank receives a piece of the pie, which is the pool, right? Now, there's nothing additional you have to do in order to opt in, right? You guys are all able to, you guys all have it available to you. Now, the big thing is, like I was talking about earlier, is get prepared, right? Be prepared so you don't have to get ready. So many times I have agents that reach out to me and they're like, Krista, I'm not prepared. I don't know what I'm doing. I had somebody see that I was doing this thing and now they want to go, they want to know what I'm doing and I don't know what I'm doing, right? Be prepared. So that's what we're going to do here. Ranks and pay. This is very important. Understand, we talked about this a little bit. Who is what, where everyone is at. And so we're going to go through this. And like I said, I want you guys, if for some reason you don't understand something, please stop me. Let's ask before we move on to the next step, right? Executive. This is 3 business partners, right? 3 active agents. You are mentoring 3 people, right? Now, there's going to be percentages on here. There's going to be amounts on here. The percentages always stay the same. The amount, they are averages because it's basically all of the money in the bucket. I like to call it like the leprechaun's golden bucket, right? But in the pool, there's all this money, and then 13% is split with all executives. That's roughly between $46 and $50 a month. Now, nobody's getting rich at executive, but what does executive do? For those of you guys that are not new to team building, what does executive do? Put in the chat box. What does executive do? Mitigates the monthly, meaning that every other month it will cover your monthly, right? Mitigates your monthly. Absolutely. Now, next step. The next one is bronze. This is 6 business partners, right? 14% of the profit pool. This is $90 to $100 per month. Now, all of you guys in here, you're all smart individuals. Just by looking at that monthly, what does this cover? What does this do for your business? Gives you a free business, right? Eliminates your monthly. How many of you guys would love to run your business in the green? How many of you guys would love to run your business in the green? Lanny, me. Tracy, me. Angela, me. Joe, definitely. Mary, yes. Teresa, me. Jennifer, of course. Amy, me. Brenda, hand up. Zakina, yes. Michelle, yes. Oh, wow, that went fast. Rebecca, yes, right? Absolutely, right? If you eliminate your monthly, You're no longer stressed with wondering, or like, you're not stressed about covering that monthly, right? So I always tell people this should be one of your very first things that you work on, right? Absolutely, you should be booking travel. Absolutely, you should be building up your travel business. Absolutely, all of those things. But remember that we are business owners, right? IBO, independent business owners. If you go ask any other business out there, when do they consider their business a success? When do they consider their business a success? When do they consider their business a success? When they are in the green. Any business out there. We actually have a family friend who opened a brewery, right? And I asked her, I said, hey, how's business? She said in the first quarter, she's like, we've actually paid back debt. She's like, we're officially in the green, right? That brewery is a success because their business is now in the green. So I have heard time and time again, people say, my business isn't successful. I'm not successful in this business. But you have the control to put your business in the green rather quickly, right? It's that mindset. It's that shift. It's understanding the definition. What is a successful business? Running in the green, right? All right. So that's bronze. When they're not paying out of pocket anymore, right, Lisa? Silver, 9 business partners. This is 20% of the profit pool, right? $110 to $125 a month. Now, this is where I think everyone should be, because we have a saying around here. You always work towards the next goal to pad the previous one, right? This is the first slide, Michelle, so you're good. Oh, the first one, yeah, at the end, when I'm not recording, I can go back. So, silver, 9 business partners, 20% of the profit pool, $110 to $125 monthly, right? Now, so let's just say $89.99, right? We'll just say $90 for easy round, right? 90. That's, if you get 110, that's $20, right? If it's 125, that's $35. That's a business in the green and gas in your tank, right? That's business in the green and, maybe some staple items in your house, groceries, right? So what I did is every time I was growing through the ranks, I looked at, okay, this is going to, after bronze, right? Like this is covering, I assigned the money, right? Assign the money. You guys, I get that $35, $40, nobody's getting rich around here with $30, $40, but what if you saved the money in your e-wallet for 12 months? Let's just say you never go beyond silver. What's 40 times 12?
$480.
480. All right. Tanya, I don't want you to think I didn't see your message, but it's a little long, so I'll have to go back to it in a little bit. 480. Okay. Let's say that you hit silver in January. Come December, you have $480 in your e-wallet. How many of you guys buy Christmas presents? How many of you guys buy Christmas presents in December? Okay, so what if you waited all year long? You decided, I'm not going to take any money out of my e-wallet. I'm going to hold silver until the end of the year, and then I'm going to take money out in December. Would $480 buy a lot of Christmas gifts? I mean, not if you're buying people like Louis Vuittons and stuff, but like, could you buy some significant, $40 gift cards? I hate gift cards, but I know that's a trend. That would help a lot. So many people are looking at getting rich that they're not looking at the little steps they can take to make a big impact. Right? So silver, your business is in the green, and now you're going to have, $400, $450, $500 and December to buy Christmas presents. I don't know, maybe that's another car payment. Maybe that covers your car payment in December, so that way you can buy Christmas gifts, however you guys want to manipulate them. Maybe it's like, hey, I can pay my household bills in December from this, right? Merry Christmas to me. Or maybe it's in June or whatever the case may be, right? All right, gold. This is, you guys, when you hit leadership, right? Now, silver, I always consider myself like you're building a team, you're leading your team, right? But gold is that first official leadership role. And I already know we have several golds in here, right? Gold, 15 business partners, right? So now you're having to go from silver, which is 9, to gold, which is 15. That's a jump of 6, right? You guys can all see that jump of 6. There's only 6 difference between silver of 9 business partners and gold of 15 business partners, right? Now, don't get too crazy with me. Just follow along, right? That is 6. You personally have to get 6 more from silver to get 15, right? Yes. Somebody following me? Yes. Thank you, Halia. Not talking to myself. Okay. So you personally have brought in 15 people into the business. You have a meeting with your team and you say, I would like to personally train 3 of you to become mentors. I would like to train all of you. I'd like to train 5 of you. Now, you can be a self-made gold. Absolutely. You can, right? Which is a whole other conversation that we can have. But just so that you guys can understand this, I like to kind of put it in a realm that people understand, right? You personally bring in 15 people into the business. You then have 3 of those 15 become silvers. Bam, you're a gold, right? Gold is 12% of the profit pool. This averages 1,000 to 1120 a month, right? So your business is in the green, and now you're making an extra $1,000 a month. How much money is $1,000 in a year? I like to put things in a couple of, that's easy math, right? 12,000, right? $12,000. How many of you guys are like, man, I wish that I could go on a vacation? How many of you guys are like, man, I wish I could get some help with my mortgage? I wish that I could fill in the blank. You guys, what would an extra $12,000 a year do for you? Let's declare it. Let's put it on something. When you guys start making $12,000 a year, what would it do? Saria, that's a true thing, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. What would pay off my car note, less stress for me, help pay my bills, a vacation for sure, give for others, take care of some bills, get out of debt, gifts for others. Okay. So when I hit gold, right, I said, because it's one thing to like, oh man, $1,000 would be nice, right? It's one thing to be like, that's cool. Now I have to make $1,000 a month so I pay my car payment and my house bills. If I don't make my house payment and my car bill, I don't have a car. Now, obviously, we're going to make you it side note, ... You're going to find the money to pay that. But what if you told yourself, I have to get my gold, keep my gold, or I don't have a car? It's like a little psychological thing in your brain, right? You guys, I tell myself the same thing. I have to make X dollars every single month so I have a place to live, cars to drive, this, that, and the other, right? I've assigned that residual to something, right? Help my daughter's college tuition. I love that, right? So I'm going to do what I need to do to get to gold so that I can pay for my daughter's college tuition, right? So gold, 12% of the profit pool, that's 1,000 to 1,120 a month. The way that this breaks down, you guys, is when you hit gold, like I said, you're part of leadership, which means you get a leadership bonus, right? For those of you guys that are here as golds, you guys already know that when you become a gold, you start doing a little bit more, right? You start, you're looked up to, right? You might be doing some more intricate trainings, right? You're taking on the responsibility of nurturing and guiding, right, that group of agents, right? So that's where that is. Now, platinum. And I know you guys, I never thought in a million thousand years I was ever going to be a platinum. How many of you guys are here like, nah, that's like not for me. Nah, I'm never going to reach it. That sounds impossible. Where are my Debbie Nancy, my Debbie Nancy Downer negative people? Me, Tracy's like, man, it sounds, because you have one agent right now, right? I think I somewhat have a memory. And you're like, I have one agent right now and you want me to get to 300? Mary, here, Sakina, definitely for me, right? Me, I can do it. I love that. I can do it. I said, where's my Debbie Downers? And these people are like, nah, I got this. I'm good. You guys, I never thought I was going to be a platinum. Never. I never thought it was going to be platinum. I never thought I was going to be a 1-star. I never thought I was going to be a 1-star double platinum. I never thought that I would be on my way to 2-star. I never thought that I was going to be a 100K ring earner. I never. That wasn't even like, if you looked at my goal sheet, it was not even on my goal sheet. You want to know what my goal sheet was? I wanted to hit IATM and I wanted enough to stay home with my kiddos, right? I remember you saying those things to me, laugh out loud. Boy, were you wrong, right? My husband was here. He saw that. I used to like, sound so far away, but possible. But here's the thing. A pool, if you had to fill a pool in your backyard with a bucket of water, right? If you had to take buckets of water to fill your pool, is it faster to fill the pool with just you? Or is it faster to fill the bucket of water? I mean, is it faster to fill the pool with buckets of water with multiple people filling it? You're so transparent. Your ascent should have been easy because you're being, oh man, that went fast. Because you're being yourself. More peeps. The other option with the multiples, of course, multiple, right? Your pool is going to fill up faster if you have multiple people bringing buckets of water, right? So when you get to gold, that's where I like people to start kind of, let's see how many people I can get to fill buckets also, right? Fill more buckets, fill the pool faster, right? It's called an organization, you guys, because it is a team, right? When it is, it really is like, this is Team Phoenix is my organization, right? That is my organization of agents, right? And together, I pour into them, they pour into the team, right? And we all win. I want them all to succeed more than sometimes than I want to see myself succeed, right? But that's me being a leader. That's me pouring into the team, right? Now, platinum. There's platinum all the way up to 8-star. There is platinum 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 8. So far in the company, we have up to a 5-star. Who's our 5-star platinum? We call him our 5-star general. Who's our 5-star general? Charles, absolutely. Charles and Nikki Lee, right? So obviously you can go up that ladder, but I'm just going to kind of stick at platinum. So that's an organization of 300. Tony Ward is not a 5-star. Charles is a 1-star, I think. Rest in peace. I think when Tony Ward passed away, she was a platinum, maybe a 1-star. I don't completely remember. But yes, Charles a 5-star. I used to. Absolutely, Fran. Right. Okay. So platinum, 30% of the profit pool, right? 2,500 to 4,050 a month, right? What would an extra $4,000 a month do for you? Like, I get it. For some people, that sounds unfathomable. Let me tell you, it is absolutely possible, right? What would an extra $4,000 a month do? Let's declare it. What would you do when you hit $4,000 a month? Just on this, right? We're not even talking about travel. I'd be able to finally add the addition to my house, pay my debts, more vacations, buy a house, right? How many of you guys just saw Sarah Rogers? She just purchased her house as a single mom, completely doing this business, right? Buy rentals, more cruises. My husband, he already knows. He knows the way to my heart. Buy a house, amazing. Pay off my credit card, start saving up for a house. Love it, right? But we have to build there, right? We have to build it out. You have a ladder, you need to put rungs in the ladder, right? You're going to grow up it. And the faster you climb that ladder, the more people, the more people you're helping, the faster you're going to climb up that, right? More traveling and buy my house. Make me very happy, right? Absolutely. I already told my husband, I said, I don't think we're ever going to buy a house until our kids are all moved out. And then we're going to buy a small house. We're going to like do the reverse thing. Yeah, but absolutely, right? So those are the ranks. Any questions on the ranks? We're not even diving into like how to get to those ranks. Any questions on the ranks? Going once, going twice. No, no, no. What happens is people.
How soon did you get there, Krista? How long did it take you to get there?
Let's see. I started team building in June of 20. Hold on, I gotta think about it. June of 2021. I started team building June of 2021. I hit gold by September of 2021. I was double gold by May of 2022. I took my foot off the gas. I hit gold. I took my foot off the gas and was like, nah. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to be double gold. So by May of 2022, I was gold, or I was double gold. January or February, I can't remember. I think I was like one shy of the January cutoff. February of 2023, I hit platinum. And then I think it was June, maybe May or June, actually. June 30th. Oh, I had my dates all wrong. I became a platinum. We became a platinum on February 2nd, 2022. And we became 1-star June 30th, 2022. Our gold was May 15th, 2021. I was all ass backwards. See, I don't know. That's why. But how doing that? We're going to get into that, Syria. We're going to get into that one step at a time. It did. It happened fast. It happened fast, like when you look at it, but it didn't feel very fast. Let me tell you, it didn't feel very fast. I remember hours. I remember my best friend and my husband, both super supportive, right? Absolutely amazing. But I remember them saying, like, do you ever not work? I said, I have goals, and nothing was going to stop. Nothing was going to stop me, right? Me and my husband, we got places to be, right? We got things to do, right? So there's nothing going to stop us. I was going to say, I remember you walking the stage in 2021 for gold. Oh, do you, Lisa? I feel like we are changed people. We have come a long way since the convention at Sahara. But I look at pictures of that all the time. I'm like, man, that was years and years ago. So different. Absolutely. But also how incredible the change has been in only 3 years, right? Like to go from 0 to 100,000 plus, like 6-figure earner a year in less than 4 years, right? Like to build something up. Anyways, Kate, we're getting off topic. Moving on. Benefits of the profit pool, right? Number 1, eliminate the monthly fee. We already discussed that. Oops, why is my thing not clicking? Come on. 2, maximize your income, right? I talk to my team all the time. There's 6 ways to make money, at least 6 ways to make money in this business. At least 6, right? I just unlocked a number 7 the other day on Facebook. But so booking travel, right? Team building, the residual income, and then 10% for being their trainer, right? Understand the residual pay is what Evolution is paying you to train them and to teach them. 10% is what Archer is paying you to teach them and train them. Right? So maximize your income. Number 3, company growth. Building a team means we get to help our amazing company grow. Everybody understands that positive growth shows a positive company, or not a positive company. Like a business has to continue to grow in order to be successful, right? So that's why I'm talking about, that's why he gave us that challenge, right? That's why we're talking about sharing the opportunity with other people. Building a team means we get to help amazing company grow, sharing that culture, right? 4, helping others, help others achieve their goals. Again, if you sit there and say I'd give somebody my last dollar, if you sit there and say I'd give somebody the shirt off my back, if you're sitting there saying that you would house or let somebody stay with you until they could get on their feet, then you should be sharing the opportunity. Right? What if you saw somebody starving and you're sitting over here eating a 4-course meal, but they're starving? Do you guys see where I'm going with that? Love that, Mary. Challenge accepted. Just posted to Facebook about the business opportunity. Love it. All right, let's see. This does not want to go. Create culture. We have such a phenomenal culture. Why wouldn't we want to share it? Would you all agree that we have a phenomenal culture here at Archer and Evolution Travel? Yes or no? Would you guys agree that we have an amazing culture? 100%. Yes. Hell yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Amazing. Absolutely. One of the things that I think is absolutely amazing about this business is I've never seen companies where the CEO and the founder of a company get on a training to train you. Joe, absolutely. Has anybody ever seen that? Has anybody ever been a part of somewhere? Because I'll tell you, the last company I worked at, I don't even think the CEO of that company even knew anything about medicine, let alone was he going to get on a training. My husband's literally dying laughing in the other room. Didn't know squat. Do you guys know that the people that build ambulances have never actually functionally used one? But they think that they know how to doctor one up. Right? Anyways, so let me just tell you the culture, right? The culture of the company. All right. So now we're going to talk about intentional versus organic. And this is where that statement comes in, be prepared instead of having to get ready, right? If you already know what to do when this happens, it makes it a lot easier. My current CEO is fantastic. I love that. Are you talking about Archer and Evolution, or are you talking about another one? No, I'm not trying to dog on every CEO and founder out there, but it's very hard to find, right? So we're going to talk about intentional versus organic. There are 2 ways to start team building: intentionally or organically. Oh, see, Joe's already proven it, right? She's been at her other job for 20 years because of the culture, right? Very, very important. Okay. So intentional versus organic. Intentional, this is when you start actively building a team by posting in social media groups or posting job ads on various platforms, right? You're intentionally trying to get prospects. You're intentionally trying to build a team. The organic is what throws people off, because when the organic happens, they don't know what to do. Organic. This happens when you're simply excited about being an agent and share your passion, and others gravitate towards you wanting to know more and become an agent. How many of you guys here have ever had somebody come to you and say, oh my gosh, Mary, what are you doing? Like, what have you been up to? Like, oh my gosh, Samantha, I see you're traveling so much more. What are you doing? I wish I could travel more. Christine said Nikki, right? And now Nikki's on her way to being a gold too, right? Book and travel, doing all of those things. Angela, all 3 of my agents, yep, will have 2 organically every time I see someone, right? So organically, you guys don't forget the organic. I have several people on my team who literally because of things that I posted on my personal page, they became agents. I'm going to tell you guys, and I tell my team all the time, I'm going to share my downfalls as well as my successes, because I want you guys to understand that it's human. Several months ago, and my husband might be able to correct me, but I want to say it was about 6 or so months ago. For those of you guys that don't know, we have Ohana that lives in Hawaii, right? And very, very close to them. We have a family friend over there who hits up her best friend, who is my husband's cousin, and says, man, Krista and Ben are kicking ass in this business. So Luana, she calls up Ben and says, somehow Crystal saw that you guys are kicking butt in your guys' business. And we're like, what do you mean? She's like, well, she said she was on like a founder's call and she says that you guys are doing amazing. You guys, Crystal is not on our team. Crystal is not on our team. Why? Why is Crystal not on our team? Why is she not on our team?
Because you didn't ask her to be?
Because we never reached out. We weren't openly sharing about it on our personal page. We weren't being secret agents on our travel side. We were being secret agents when it came to sharing the opportunity with others. Like I mean, I'm happy for Crystal, happy that she's in the business, all of those things, but how crazy to have family on someone else's team because we weren't sharing the opportunity. You guys, that story is not an uncommon story. There are several agents that I know that have family members in this business on other teams because they didn't know. How would you feel if your cousin 3 states over became an agent with Archer and Evolution and they weren't on your team? I have an agent whose mother-in-law is on another team. Like, that'd be annoying. So again, intentional, organic. Our markets. There's hot, there's warm, and there's cold. This is no different than travel, right? We got our hot market, we got our warm market, we got our cold market, right? Our hot market, people we know, family, friends, coworkers, right? That's your hot market. Warm market, acquaintances, friends of family, family of your friends, right? So we weren't tapping into our hot and warm. And I will tell you the reason that I wasn't sharing the opportunity. Anybody know why I wasn't sharing the opportunity on my personal page? My husband probably knows. Anybody know why? He said, I'm not going to tell him. Do you guys know why? Scared. Joe said scared if it failed. Mary said didn't think they had the extra money.
Didn't want to ask.
No. Randy didn't want to annoy anyone. Sukina said confidence. Michelle said didn't want to. Regina said scared. Lonnie said prejudging. None of those. I didn't share the opportunity with other people because I wanted to be their travel agent. Was it because of your disability? At first, Halia, that's why I didn't share the opportunity at all. I didn't share being a travel agent. I wanted them as clients. I didn't want to share the opportunity with other people because I wanted them as clients. You guys, it took me 3 years to realize that it doesn't matter what I do. They're probably still not going to book with me. Now, that's not to say that I don't have some amazing followers and some amazing people out there in the hot and warm market that don't utilize you guys. But it has taken me 4 years and I am working on the very first booking for my family or for my parents, not for my family, but I heard some other leaders say no sharing direct in your personal. I don't know why that would be. I've had that thought. Joe said, Mary makes sense. Wanted them to be, I wanted them to be clients. I wanted them to be clients, but they didn't. Now, eventually they come around. So share the opportunity. You realize, like, I wanted to be a travel agent because I liked booking my own travel. I wasn't going to give that ability. I wasn't going to give that to somebody else. So what happens if you have a me in your friends list on Facebook? What if you have a me? I'm not giving up. Like, I want to book my own travel, right? So hot, warm, and then obviously cold, social media, job boards, people you meet, places, right? So hot, warm, cold. You should be utilizing all three. All right, I want to start team building. When you want to start actively team building and sharing our amazing business in the first you'll want to do is let your mentor know, right? Let your guys' mentor know. If they don't know, they can't help you, right? Ask them if there's any specific training offered on getting started with team building. Some teams may have specific trainings geared towards getting started. I know that me, Ashley, Christina Bertels, and a couple other leaders, we did a boot camp. I want to say that was maybe 8-9 months ago. It's on the Evolution thing. If you look up, if you type in boot camp, right, there's a boot camp there that you guys can watch. It is recorded. I believe it was, I think we did 4 days. So you can do that. Exactly. That's how I got my first agent. She was annoying me over $10 difference in a hotel booking. My best friend told her she needed to sign up and look up all the deals herself. There you go, Mary. Fine. Like, if I'm not doing it good enough here, you get on here and you do it good enough. Right? Absolutely. Now you and your best friend, you guys can travel at travel agent rates together, right? There's also, you guys, there's a corporate team meeting training every Monday at 2. Right? You guys can jump on that. If your team has team building trainings, there's team building trainings out there, recorded and all of that. I have someone interested. Now what? This is where people aren't prepared, right? They're like, oh God, I didn't think anybody was going to come. And now all of a sudden I didn't think anybody was going to pay attention. And now I don't know what to do, right? This might look a little different for everyone, but just generally speaking, you want to get them to a presentation. Get them to a live presentation. I know some people, they use the recorded presentation. You guys, I'm telling you right now, as somebody who's been team building for a long time, live beats recorded 99% of the time. Don't send out some AI generated presentation. Don't send out none of those things. Get them to a live presentation. They can tell that you are a real person. They can ask questions. If you give somebody a recording, do you know if they watched it? The live presentation is why I'm here, right? If you give them a recorded meeting or recorded whatever, how do you know if they were there? How do you know they stayed the whole time? How do you know they didn't just click on it, see that it was 45 minutes long, and they're like, bounce, I'm out, right? You don't know, right? Get them to a live meeting. Make sure that they're at the live meeting. Know when the live meeting's over. Get them on the phone. All right, Tanya. I never would have accepted this opportunity if it weren't for a live presentation, right? Absolutely. If your team does not have live presentations, you guys, we have corporate presentations 4 days a week. 4 days a week, with Spanish being on Saturday, we have presentations. There's no excuses, right? You can invite guests to these presentations, and then let the presenter do the work. One of the biggest mistakes that people make, they invite people to a meeting, somebody starts asking questions, you answer the question, they never go to the meeting. Oh, Syria does Spanish presentations as well. That's amazing. Get them to a meeting. How many of you guys have ever had a prospect, you scheduled them for a meeting and then they ask you a question and you answered the question. Is this commission only? Is there a fee? You answer a question. Do they show up to the meeting? It's one of the hardest things not to do. You guys get them scheduled for a meeting, get them to the meeting, right? Schedule, get them to a meeting. Don't schedule, answer all their questions, and then wonder why they didn't go to the meeting. Why would they need to go to the meeting? You just gave them all the milk. They didn't have to buy the cow. They didn't have to go learn. There's a reason that we do these presentations. There's a reason these presentations are set up the way that they are, right? Building value, explaining everything before we say, hey, this is the price. If you don't build value, the price doesn't make sense. Give too much information, not going to the meeting. Right? If you let me test out the power to my house, you know, for 3 months, do you think I'd pay the bill? No, like, you gave me power for free. Right? No, I'm going to pay, got to get them to a meeting, right? Now, there's a couple of ways that you guys can do this. You guys can hand schedule. That's what I did all the way till, I think, even triple gold I was hand scheduling. I know for sure double gold. And then you can use Calendly. Now, Calendly does cost money, is very minimal cost. It's also a tax write-off if you use it, right? But you guys can hand schedule and you guys can, or you guys can use Calendly. Now, I know when I was talking to Jessica Coco, who is one of our newest platinums, she hand schedules still to this day. How do you get around answering the questions? Teresa, it's really easy. There's one of two things. One, don't answer. Number two, Teresa, and your response 4 or 5 hours later is, hey, John, I'm so sorry. I've been so busy booking travel for my clients. Everything will be gone over in the meeting. What did you just do by saying that? What did you just do, Teresa? What did you just do by saying that to your client or to the prospect?
You showed them that you're busy and this is generating money. And so it kind of goes without saying why you're not calling. Now they want to know, how's she making money like that?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, right? I showed value. I validated that I book travel, right? So there's some validation there. There's, you know, now it's whether that's what you were doing or not, but remember, you don't have to answer like this, like, oh, a prospect sent me a question, I'm going to respond right back. That looks desperate and like you ain't got nothing to do. Right? I'm busy. You need me. Now we all understand we need them, but they don't need to know that, right? They need me. They need this opportunity, right? They need to show up and see this opportunity and how amazing it is and how everybody needs it, right? All right, how to enroll an agent. You guys, very easy to enroll an agent. I know it gets a little confusing sometimes, so we're going to go through this. Some presentations, like if you go to the corporate presentation, we're going to tell people, go get the enrollment link. Once you get that enrollment link, you're going to go ahead and process that enrollment. Once you process that enrollment, right, you're going to be on the list for a voucher, right? Now, this is the corporate presentation. I know my team does something very similar. I know a couple other teams do as well, but that's what we're going to do. So you guys, if you're going to have somebody go to a presentation, be ready to give them the enrollment link because they're instructed to go get it right now, right? So now some will be ready then, but some may need to think it over, right? Some might need to talk to you. Some might be like, okay, this was amazing. The live presentation was awesome. All of that was great, but I still want to talk to you on the phone. What if they went to a meeting months ago and now ready to sign up? Give them the link. They don't need to go to another meeting. The information didn't change. Sign them up. All right, let's go. When this happens, you'll follow the traditional sign up process, right? Traditional process. Give them the enrollment link. Now, you can, you know, when you give them the enrollment link, you can tell them like, hey, go create a Gmail, you know, prior to signing up. Leave the company field blank. You guys, just so you guys know, that company box, leave it blank. If they end up putting anything there, that's what's going to show up in the back office. That's what's going to show up on their certification, right? So just leave that blank. Also, No special characters in your password. And I'm going to tell you guys this and explain this to you, because when you're going to get an agent that does this, and you're going to need to know how to fix it, right? For whatever reason, it will allow you to put special characters in the password, even though it says don't. But if you have an agent that signs up and says, I can't log in, one of the very first things I ask them is, did you put any special characters in your password? And if they say yes, I tell them, and I don't know if it's like a secret handshake or what, but tell them to go click the forgot password button 3 times, and they will get the email so they can change their password. I don't know why it's 3 times, guys, but that's just what I found. That's what we found every time, that it takes pressing the dang button 3 times to get the dang email to change password. Once they have their 6-digit agent ID, explain how to log into the back office and find travel training program. Now, some teams, you guys might have onboarding steps. So this is why it's important to let your mentor know that you're starting team building, because some teams might have documents that they give, or processes or websites or whatnot. So make sure that your mentor knows, so that way you have those processes in place, so that way you can utilize them. Once the travel training program is complete, guide them on to the next steps for any trainings your team or corporate may provide. Let them know we are here to guide them. This is a we movement, but if they don't reach out, right, they're not going to be fed, right? If they're having problems, they need to reach out. I tell all of my new agents, hey, you have to reach out to me if you're having struggles, or because I understand that we're independent business owners. I understand that you're going to move at your pace. I'm not going to bug you, right? Make sure to add them to any team chats, groups, your team has access to, right? There's lots of different Facebook groups out there. If you have, your team has a Facebook group or a chat or whatnot, get them connected to the Evolution Enterprises Facebook page, any groups where they can ask questions and see trainings that are being provided for them to learn and grow in this business. Now, when I say this, there is, I think, an appropriate time to add them to those groups. I don't think you should add them from day one. It becomes very overwhelming and right, it just becomes too much, right? So walk them through their first couple of steps. Like I said, if your team has something that they utilize to get them through those steps, that's perfect. But don't just throw everything at them all at once, because it's going to be very overwhelming and then they're going to leave, right? So that's the basics. There is the enroll an agent button up at the top. Now, in the event that your prospect needs a little extra, right? They still have more questions. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where you're going to be able to answer all of their questions, right? You're going to be able to get on with your prospects. You're going to be able to do that. While you're learning, right? When you're learning, your potential business partner is skeptical. Maybe they have additional questions. They just want to talk to somebody on the phone, right? Do a 3-way call, right? A 3-way call can be prearranged by simply asking your leader or mentor if they're available for a call, right? So for instance, if one of my people on my team was like, hey, Krista, I have a prospect. They have some additional questions. Can we set up a call? And I'll say, yes, I try to do it as quickly as possible, right? But sometimes depending on trainings or depending on whatever, I can't do it immediately. I can say, yes, absolutely. See if they're available at 3 p.m. PST today, right? We're going to set up a 3-way call. This is what's going to happen. Your business partner, your agent, is going to call the prospect. 3 ways were fun to hear with you and Charles and I'll never forget one, but that's a whole other. Charles straight up told this person, no, you know what? You're not right for this company. And you should have seen me. I was like, but I'm 1 away from double. Like, I was like 1 away from something, and he just straight up told this person this wasn't right. And now that I am where I am, like, I understand what he was doing. He was protecting the culture of our company. She wasn't right. She wasn't right for our company and our culture, right? And I think that's something that you guys have to understand, that this is not for everyone. It's not for everyone. Anyways, so when you guys get on the 3-way, right, you're going to call your prospect, then you're going to call. Yeah, that can be difficult for sure, Joe. When you do that, so you're going to call your prospect. Once you're on with the prospect, okay, hey, I'm going to go ahead and get one of our senior leaders on. They're going to be able to answer questions, blah, 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 right? So then you call Okay. Edifying is very important, right? Edifying the person who you're going to be speaking to, right? So there's 4 things that you guys are going to talk on, right? There's 4 things on how you're going to edify the senior agent, right? You're going to touch on money, knowledge, fun, and helpful. I would like to introduce you, like, hey, Joe, I have Krista Wiley on here. She's a 1-star double platinum. She's a 3-time IATAN card holder. This is her full-time job. She does super amazing trainings with cruises. She loves traveling. She has, 3 kids. She travels the world with them. She does trainings on these days, not specifics, but, she does cruise trainings and she does this. Do you guys see how I just edified myself and I hit on money, knowledge, fun, and helpful? Because again, this hits on the psyche, right? Oh man, this person that she's about to put on the phone is super successful, makes money, teaches, trains, and travels. Because you have to understand that you don't know what this prospect, what side of the business they're most interested in. So you need to edify your leader to hit on all of these different things, because one of those 4 things is going to speak to them. All right, introduce, you do the edification, and then mute your line. You guys mute it. I'm telling you right now, hit the mute button. Do not interrupt the 3-way. Don't interrupt it. Just let it happen. Right? Okay, so here's some tips, right? You are allowed 2 accounts per social and 2 accounts per EIN for those of you guys in the United States. I have to make that very clear, because now that as we're growing our international, I have to make sure that we say that you have 2 accounts per social security number and 2 accounts per EIN. You guys, the EIN is free. If you get on some wonky website and they're trying to charge you money for your EIN, you're on the wrong site. This little bad boy right here is free, right? To get your EIN. Now, this is not necessarily a structured class, so we're not going to go into a lot of that structure. I have a recording on it. You guys are more than welcome to go watch it later. Whichever rank you hold on the last day of the month at 11:59 p.m. PST is what you get paid the following month as. Now, it gets a little bit more in depth when we hit gold and above, but that's okay. Qualified, must have your $89.99 paid to receive residuals and must be active, right? Residuals are paid every Friday after the 15th. These funds will now be deposited into your e-wallet on Wednesday. You have until noon on Wednesday to withdraw, and you'll get paid out Friday. Okay, now, if the 15th falls on a Friday, you're getting paid the following Friday. If your monthly due date falls on residual payday, so let's say residual payday is the 17th this month, and your monthly is also due on the 17th, your monthly will come out before your residual hits. It's no different than any bank out there. They're going to take theirs before they give you yours, just the way it is, right? But honestly, the monthly payment comes out at midnight, so that's why on that day. Let's see, the system will automatically hold $89.99 for your next payment, and you can withdraw anything over that amount. There's a minimum $25 that must be available after the monthly fee amount in order to withdraw it. That's why I said, especially when you're at that, the executive bronze, silver, like, I just keep the money in there. I kept the money in there, you guys. They laugh and they kind of joke, but they also are very serious when they say, I could fund myself. So for instance, we went on a cruise last month. I knew that we were going to be on a cruise when residuals paid out. So I actually paid myself early because I keep money in there, right? I keep money in my e-wallet. So in the event that I need to pay myself early, I know that money is going to go back in there later. So it's like my honey pot, right? Like I keep all kinds of money in all my accounts. All right. So that is the very last slide. So what I want to do is there any questions? Anybody have any questions? Anybody at all? Bye, Brandon. Anybody have any questions?
Hi, 89.99 per account or for both accounts?
Yeah, it's $89.99 per account. But if you have two accounts, and again, we'll go more into that in structure, but remember at silver, or I mean at bronze, you're eliminating it, right? So you just make sure that all of your accounts are above bronze and you're not paying. Between me and my household, we have 6. We don't pay on it. It's covered by the business every year or every month. Michelle, can you show first? I don't know what you mean. Oh, you wanted to see that first slide, right? Was it you that needed that first slide? Teresa, this is this team building. Sorry, team building questions. Let me see. Go back to the first slide. That is the first slide. Yes. Okay, perfect. There you go, Michelle. All right, you let me know when you're done, Michelle. Got the picture? Good? Okay, perfect. Awesome. All right. Any questions about team building? 2 accounts per account.
Question.
Mhm.
What do you do when you bring someone on and they're not as dedicated as getting all the training done, but they're, complaining, oh, I've got to get paid, I've got to make money. And I've, said, okay, have you done this? Have you done this? Have you did that? What can I do to get them to understand that this is your business and you've got to put the effort out? Besides telling them that over and over again.
Other than telling them that, exactly. So it's hard because obviously, like, there is a culture, there's a societal difference out there. There's some people who understand working hard, and there's some that want to be given everything.
Right.
So if somebody's like, I need to make money and I'm not making anything and I just need to make money and this is blah, 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 blah. It's okay to have a heart to heart with them. Hey, Angela. And Angela knows I can say things. Angela knows I can pick her. Angela, whose business is this? Mine, right? Angela's going to say it's mine. Okay. Guess who's standing in the way between you making money and you not making money?
Yeah.
Me, my business. So, Angela, if you don't like the fact that you're not making business, me as your mentor, someone who has found success in this business, my job is to mentor you and sponsor you and show you how to become successful like me. And if you don't want to follow, right? And it's not being belittling or being any of those things, but sometimes you have to put it into perspective because they're not a W-2 employee.
Right.
And you have to understand, but we have to make them understand this is not a W-2. This is not a 9 to 5 where you're going to get into work and I'm going to give you a list of 17 things to do before you go home today.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's that tough love. Sometimes can't be done over text message. Sometimes it's something that you have to get on the phone, and every mentor has their own. People will say like I'm the emotional mama bear. Like I want everybody to be amazingly exceptional. I want everybody to succeed. And so my tough love sounds differently than somebody else's tough love. Some people, like maybe this isn't going to be for you. What do you call that? Babe, in the business, you got to take it away from them, right? Take it away from them. Always take it away, right?
Yep.
So yeah, so just, it's going to be like, hey, this is your business. I'm here for it. I'm here for you to be successful. I want to be here for you to be successful. But in order for you to be successful, you're going to have to do the things that require success.
Right.
Like even a floating house, a bungalow has to have a foundation. It's not just floating above the water. There's a foundation to it. Right? So tough love.
I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Krista, is it okay to
Uh-huh.
share Evo Plus, the comparison like Expedia and Evo Plus? I know they do it in the training, but to elaborate on that before someone signs up.
I mean, you can, once somebody's gone to the presentation, you can quite literally, you can talk to them about the business. I mean, any parts of the business, right? You can talk to them about Evo Plus. You can talk about deals and discounts that you've gotten. You can talk about income received, right? You can talk about any of those things. You know, sometimes I find when I get on the phone with a prospect, like, what is your hesitation?
Mm-hmm.
Like, find, because in this business, we are solution oriented, right? Problem, solution, problem, solution. I'm going to solve a problem. What's the problem? All right, here's a solution, right? And so if they're like, you know, this, absolutely. If
So-
there's some,
I had someone that went to a presentation and they came back and we had a Zoom call one-on-one, and I showed them Evo Plus and Expedia, and they saw the price difference. And I said, if you sign up and all you do is book hotels for people using Evo Plus, you can make money every single day. And they were like, oh my goodness, they saw the value because she was worried about her bandwidth. She was worried about, I can't do travel like you do. Maybe I work a full-time job. And I'm like, do you know people that go to soccer tournaments and need to travel? And she's like, yeah, book their hotels. She's like, oh yeah, I could do that. Even if you make $60 or $100 off of each one of those. And just showing her the example on Zoom, she's like, I could make $300 on that. Exactly. So I think maybe people don't have a lot of time. Just give them Evo Plus and then they'll sign up and it'll pay their monthly.
mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. You know, but again, that is, I remember when I started team building, not very many people, I mean, I think she's still in the business, but her name's Molly. Molly is a flight attendant for Spirit. And during the pandemic, she obviously was grounded. And so she did a lot of presentations. And I remember Molly would get done with the presentation, and how we always tell people, like, go text your mentor for the enrollment link. Molly used to say, call your mentor. And every time Molly said that, I swear sweats. Like, I would get so nervous. I was like, she just told them to call me. What am I going to say? Right. But now looking back at it, it was like, hey, if you have any doubts, like, pick up the phone and talk to these people. Like, it was her way of saying, like, we're not afraid to talk to you. I'm not afraid. Like, I know what this business is. I know what this business can do for people, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. Right. No, it was Spirit. Yeah, it was Spirit. No, Spirit. I was like, Molly, Spirit, really? But yeah, Spirit. When would you open a second account? So again, we talked about that. So go to my YouTube. If you guys aren't already on my YouTube, go to Travel by Tilly. We talk about that in the structure training. How to structure your team. I usually don't, or I always tell people not until you hit 15. Personally, like, that's where I would do it. I know some people, some leaders will teach at, like, account number 13 could be your second account. So it's really just, I usually say 15, because then your accounts are padding your 15 instead of your accounts making up the 15. But really just up to you. Thanks, Teresa. Syria, when and how do you get your husband in this? So, Ben has always been very, very supportive. It has always been, you know, he's super supportive. It wasn't until maybe 6 months, I want to say, maybe.
Yeah, it was 6 months because you hadn't really done anything with the business, and till your 6 months. And then that's when you decided, okay, I have all my trainings done for travel side. Now let's start making the residual. And that's when you're like, hey, can I use you as an account? And I was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Let's do this. And
So
then that's when it started taking off. Like really, I know it was a struggle for a minute, but now it's great.
So I got him into the business. So I wanted to start building my double gold. I remember it was my double gold that I wanted to build because my initial gold was based off my 4. And then I wanted to build a double gold. So I ended up putting him, because double gold, you create your double gold the same way you create your first gold, right? One of your accounts goes to gold. So I put him as one of my silvers, right? And then I just needed 2 more silvers to get that account to gold. So I chose that. I do see people put their husbands as like, instead of them and 3 accounts to get them to gold, they'll do like them 2 accounts and then one of their husband's accounts to make it. You guys, I am a firm believer in waiting to use your spouses for your double gold, right? But again, watch structure before you start doing multiple accounts and all of those things, because there are people that have done their structure incorrectly and then they've had to be restructured to make it legal, right? So just make sure that you're talking to your leadership about that. I love to use Evo Plus for sales marketing. Where do you post on Facebook? Where do you find serious people? I feel like the people are mad there's a fee, even though it's their own business. I'm thinking I'm in the wrong groups. So Michelle, there are a ton of places, right? Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube. I literally have an agent who's very thriving. He found me from YouTube. Every social media platform I have, right? Understand there are going to be people that they are just never going to see beyond working for someone else. There are some people, and I just recently had this conversation with David. I said, man, I just don't understand like why people have, and he said, some people are just very much society trained to be dependent on other people. They're trained to be dependent on other people. They're not trained to know that they can be themselves, like they can be successful. They can create their own success. Right? So understand that no matter, you could prove everything on planet Earth about this opportunity, and they're still just not going to get it. They're going to think it's a scam, a pyramid, a BS, bullshit, whatever. There's some people you're never going to convince. And that's okay. It's not for them. Right? I'm not going to waste my time to convince them when there's 4 people over here that already understand, that already get it. Because trust me, I want my team to be full of Angelas. I want my team to be full of Haleas. I want my team to be full of Victorias. I want my team to be full of Christines and Nikki's and all of those people. I want those people. Those are the people that I want. I don't want the other ones. Right? They do. They have a hard time. They have a hard time. And it's so crazy to me. They have a hard time understanding investment, but they have no problem paying $50 to park at their job. Like, you have a hard time investing in yourself, but you're okay with having to pay to park your car at work. Just, right? Anyways, so when Ben joined, was he actively working the business or just helping you move to up? He's active in the business. He does. There's this award right here. It's a supportive spouse award that Charles gave him. We are definitely a team. You don't see him as often, right? But he goes to trainings.
But trust me, you'll be seeing me a lot more very soon.
But there's, he's at every event. And not just like, oh, I'm in attendance. Nah, like he's in attendance. He's working. He was the host of regionals, right? So he wasn't just a, I'm going to mute you. Hun, will you mute yourself? You're echoing. Okay. No, it's cool. I just was like, I hear an echo from our kitchen. So, but he's very much, he books travel because sometimes I'm so busy that I'm running the team. You know, I'm not running the team, but I'm like doing stuff with the team. I'm doing trainings. I'm doing these other things. And so on his days off from his 9 to 5, that actually has something called a pyramid in it, which we won't even get into. But they, he books travel, right? He talks to people about the business. He actually brings a lot more travel business into this business than I do sometimes, I think. Right, Lisa, or buy your uniforms. Well said, exactly. What point did you create? What point did I create at YouTube? I think probably within the first couple of months. Yeah. I will tell, it's easier. It's easier to, I mean, either have your husband in the business or don't have him in the business. Like either one. Like have him in the business, like, you know. All right, guys, any other questions, team building related? How many of you guys went and posted? Angela posted. Who else posted? Carolyn said, I did. Sakina did. Victoria's wrapping up her post now. I love Victoria's post, guys. Man, that girl, her posts, I'm like, I could take a note or two. Jennifer, I will after this. Perfect. Syria, I did. Mary, you're welcome. You guys, now, one last homework assignment. Go to the Facebook groups and tell them that if they did not get on this training, what they missed out on, and to get on the next one. All right, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Tuesday. I have loved having you guys here. Go shout it out to the crowds that they should have attended. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.